welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a mature worker, aged 55 and up, and you're navigating the job market right here in Central PA, especially around blue-collar hubs like Blair County, you already know you've got a lot to offer. You bring real grit, total reliability, and literally decades of hands-on capability to the table. But, well, the hiring landscape has definitely changed. So today, our goal is to help you completely bypass ageism and outsmart those robotic applicant tracking systems, or ATS, that are basically guarding today's jobs. We're going to transform your resume into a sleek, modern tool that makes your hard-earned experience absolutely undeniable.
Okay, let's dive into the step-by-step roadmap. We're going to cover the mature workforce reality, mastering the modern format, the 10-year timeline rule, highlighting skills and numbers, proving your tech fluency, and lastly, updating your digital footprint. Let's get to it. Section 1, the mature workforce reality. It's really crucial to first acknowledge the unique, systemic barriers older adults are facing today, like those algorithmic ATS filters that scan your application way before a human ever even sees it. But get this, the sheer scale of the mature workforce is massive. Research shows older workers are an absolutely essential growing part of the labor market, especially in regions like Blair County, where local industries heavily rely on seasoned expertise. In 2024, 27% of adults aged 65 to 74 were actively working nationwide, and that's projected to hit nearly 30% by 2034. So you're part of a massive wave of professionals choosing to stay active. You have the exact work ethic and practical know-how the market desperately needs right now. That being said, ageism is still a real hurdle. About 14% of adults over 50 report facing direct bias in the hiring process. But honestly, here's the most staggering number of all. 7.4 seconds. Yeah, 7.4. That's the average amount of time a recruiter, or say a plant HR manager, actually spends looking at a resume. You literally have less than 8 seconds to prove you're a modern fit for the role. Section 2, mastering the modern format. This is where a few super simple formatting and font changes can instantly prevent both algorithmic and human age bias. Outdated habits will date you right off the bat. Take Times New Roman font, for example. Sure, it was great for printed paper back in the day, but it's terrible for screens and parsing software. Swap it out for clean, modern fonts like Arial or Calibri. Next, ditch the old objective statement. Plant managers already know your objective is to get the job. Instead, hit them with a professional summary that highlights your top safety certifications and recent operational achievements. And finally, update that old AOL, Hotmail, or Yahoo email address to a free Gmail or Outlook account. I know it sounds crazy, but it's a tiny little change that signals you are completely in touch with current tech standards. Section 3, the 10-year timeline rule. Listen, your resume is not a historical ledger of every single job you've ever had. It's a targeted marketing document. Hiring managers really only care about the last decade of experience to keep things relevant. For roles you've held in the last 0 to 5 years, give them maximum detail and focus. For 5 to 10 years ago, kind of streamline it. But wait, what about that master mechanic or shift foreman role you totally crushed 20 years ago? Well, if it's highly relevant to the job you want today, you can create a selected early career section. Just put the title and the company name and leave the dates off entirely. Oh, and absolutely remove your high school and college graduation dates from your education section. Honestly, they only serve to trigger unconscious bias. Resume expert Kim Isaacs hits the nail on the head here. She says, older workers tend to have a boatload of experience. The challenge is to whittle the resume content down to what employers would find most valuable. You've got immense value from decades on the floor or out in the field, but throwing 30 years of history at an HR rep who only has 7.4 seconds, that is a surefire recipe for being overlooked. Strategic curation is the absolute secret to passing modern ATS algorithms. Section 4, highlighting skills and numbers. Moving to a skills-focused format brilliantly bypasses those outdated concerns about your job history and zeroes right in on what you can actually deliver. And this brilliantly illustrates how adding specific, quantifiable numbers to past achievements proves your ongoing value. Look, anyone can write supervised a shift or managed a team. That just reads like a dusty old job description. But when you write something like increased production line efficiency by 10% and cut material waste by 15%, well, now you're backing up your claims with hard data. This proves without a doubt that you're focused on results, continuous improvement, and the bottom line.
You also want to strengthen those achievements with power action verbs, words like enhanced, supported, initiated, collaborated, proposed, and designed. They create a dynamic and really compelling narrative. But even more importantly, you absolutely must tailor your content to match the specific keywords found in the job descriptions you're applying for. Think of the ATS as basically a giant search engine. If a logistics posting says they need someone who initiated safety protocols, you better make sure the exact word initiated is actually sitting on your resume.
Section 5. Proving your tech fluency. We have to aggressively address the completely outdated stereotype that older workers lack modern technological skills. To do this, create a dedicated tech skills section. Explicitly list out things like Microsoft Office, and definitely include cloud platforms like Google Workspace or Dropbox. Even if you're in a very hands-on industry, you must list remote communication platforms like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or Slack. Seeing these specific tools listed demonstrates modern digital fluency. It shows a hiring manager right off the bat that you can handle digital safety modules, inventory software, and modern workplace communication without skipping a single beat. Want a fast, easy way to boost that section? Check out free resources like IBM Skills Build. You literally just create a free account, enroll in some self-paced courses on modern tech or even AI basics, and earn digital credentials to display right on your resume. Formally certifying your tech skills like this gives you a massive boost, proving you're adaptable and totally ready for today's increasingly automated industrial and logistics environments. Okay, so your paper resume is looking flawless, but how do you prove you're really connected to today's modern workplace before you even step foot into the interview room? Section 6, updating your digital footprint. Because your resume and your online presence, they're two sides of the same coin. We need to update your LinkedIn profile so you appear current and active. And yes, even for hands-on trades right here in Central PA, LinkedIn is a surprisingly powerful networking tool for local manufacturing hubs and unions. So first things first, use a recent professional photo. Transparency shows total confidence. Second, pack your headline with the exact keywords from the job descriptions you're targeting. Third, write your about summary in the first person. Say, I did this or I lead that. It creates a modern, personal connection. Finally, don't be shy. Actively collect written recommendations from recent colleagues. These testimonials are incredible social proof that your skills are highly valued right now. By formatting smartly, focusing on just the last decade, proving your tech fluency, and updating your LinkedIn, you completely neutralize age bias. The truth is, the Central PA workforce desperately needs your reliability, your problem-solving grit, and your hard-earned wisdom. You have the experience, and you absolutely bring the value. By packaging it correctly, you allow that incredible experience to shine right through the algorithms. So what's stopping you from taking control of your career narrative today? Update that resume and go land that job. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.